I told you I'll be back soon. What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Josh Shiro. I have to be honest with y'all. This was initially going to be an album reaction / review. Unfortunately, I scrapped the album reaction because of one reason. I had nothing to say. You see, this project is loaded, but not for the good reasons. While, and let me lead by this, I do think it is a good project. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot to really talk about, which is weird because I think he's the most vulnerable he's actually kind of been in a while on this project. Let's just talk about the production for the most part, because that's where it really stood out to me that there's not really a whole lot to say here because it was safe. You see, the thing about Daniel Caesar that made everybody love him was that he felt alternative, but also neo soul at the same time. This project felt more similar to his last project, but his last project was great because it felt a little more refreshing, but still Daniel Caesar. And while this still feels Daniel Caesar-like, it wasn't a whole lot happening, with a lot of tracks honestly feeling empty. And while I liked it from a production standpoint, again, it left me with nothing to talk about, which made me want to scrap the entire thing in general. I legit got through half of this project, and the only things of note that I said were, that's a good track. Man, that's a beautiful sounding track. That's a good track. Man, that's a beautiful sounding track. And that's all I could say, to the point where I was literally complaining that was the only thing I could say. But the thing about this project is that if we talk about the content, it's kind of a gospel album in disguise. Because a lot of it has to do with him, I guess, getting in touch with his faith and asking God, you know, why he is the way he is and why he's going through the things that he's going through, and what God can show him in order to improve on himself and move forward. Whether it's his lustful intent, or, you know, speaking or not really speaking, but I guess alluding to his controversy that he went through in 2019, and how he's kind of asking, you know, for patience and forgiveness, because if you're not familiar, he said some very disparaging things about black people, and not only did he double down on it, but he tripled down and almost quadrupled down on it. It looked like somebody took his phone away and was like, hey, shut up. Because he was essentially defending Yes Jules and saying, black people are so mean. Y'all are so mean. Y'all always play the victim. I don't like black people. I hate black people. Black people this, black people that. And it was like, at first he was just drunk, but obviously everybody knows when you're drunk, you're unfiltered, which means that you say things that you actually mean. And in this project, I guess it was him touching on what that time period was like and how he's still feeling the effects of that. Because even with this promo run, it wasn't a whole lot of promo like the last one, where you had the whole sit down interview and they had the apology, and the apology was basically his promo. In this one, he was, I didn't even notice, giving out free concerts in order to try to change the public perception of him. And in this project, he was kind of alluding to that idea while also talking about, you know, his love life and, you know, just life things in general. Overall, though, I found myself walking away, again, liking at least the production and how he sounded on the album, because Daniel Caesar is incapable of making bad music. There was nothing really of note to talk about. At least for me, there was no real big takeaways. The album felt safe, and that's kind of bad when you think about it from the aspect of he was also trying to be very vulnerable as well. Because it was like he would get there and then it would be 35 to 40 seconds of and then for me it's just like, okay, I see you trying to get to the point, but now you're drowning me out in just the production and the song, and some songs just carried on for way too long. It was clear, okay, you're just doing this just to make it sound like it's good music. And overall, that's kind of my biggest critique on it, is that, yeah, it's good music, but it's good music at a fault. Because you were trying to do something and you were trying to explain things, but you never wanted to go fully on the ledge and fully explain the thing. You wanted the music to kind of drown it out, at least in my opinion. Like, one of the only songs that I really feel like I got a whole lot of content on was the Emily song, where it was a love letter to his ex-girlfriend, where it was him reflecting on the person that he once was and how she really checked him on a lot of things and pointing out a lot of his flaws, and he didn't necessarily acknowledge that in the relationship, but is acknowledging that now. I think that is one of the few tracks where we actually get a whole lot of content from him. Otherwise, it's a whole lot of choir-esque, gospel-esque things going on, but him not really explaining anything other than maybe him, yo, I want to have a baby, but I also have lustful intentions as well, so I don't know what I want to do with let's have a baby. And then the next track after that, which is root of all evil, which is lust, which I think would have been a great song to really explore, you know, how men crumble at lust and how that is a lot of men's biggest downfall is lust. But unfortunately, I feel like he only touched the tip of the iceberg when it came to that, especially coming off of the track previously where you're talking about how you want love and how you want to make a baby and how you want passionate, you know what I'm saying? But then you get to the next track, root of all evil, and you're just alluding to the idea that you have lustful intentions and that you're full of lust and you want God to get the lust out of you. You see, the point is that I kind of have to interpret what's kind of there but not all the way there. Overall, I think the project is just kind of empty but loaded at the same time. It's a weird paradox. It's like it's a lot going on, but at the same time it's nothing going on. It's like when a lyricist is doing a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo and he's making it seem like he's saying so many things, but in reality the content is just ABC 1 2 3. Like, that's what this project ultimately felt like at the end of the day. It was a lot going on in terms of production value and the themes he was going for, but the overall content and what he was actually saying and how vulnerable he actually got was bare minimum at best. But again, at a surface value, it is a really good sounding project. Again, I wish I could have gave y'all a better reaction, but unfortunately, I had nothing to say. He gave me nothing to say. But y'all let me know how y'all felt about this project in the comment section below. Again, I like it, I don't love it, and that's kind of where it ends. But in the meantime, y'all, it's been your boy Josh Shiro.